group of seasoned paranormal investigators arrives at Greyfriars Kirkyard, drawn by the rumors of a particular grave that, no matter how many times is filled, appears to be freshly disturbed every morning. The team checks into an old nearby inn with its own history of ghostly sightings, setting the scene for a suspenseful exploration. They prepare their equipment, unaware of the psychological and supernatural horrors awaiting them within the centuries-old cemetery walls. Under the veil of a cold, moonless night, the team sets out into the graveyard, their lanterns casting flickering beams over the gravestones. The air is heavy with silence, except for the crunch of gravel underfoot and the occasional distant howl of the wind. As they approach the infamous grave, the sense of being watched becomes palpable, stirring an anxiety that cuts through even the chilling night air. The team takes a closer look at the disturbed grave, noticing how the soil looks freshly dug, the earth inexplicably soft and cold to the touch. A chill runs down their spines as they realize there's no logical explanation for it, given how it was filled just the previous day. Whispers of the Mackenzie Poltergeist flood their minds, and the legend's true terror begins to settle in. The team decides to camp out near the grave to capture any paranormal activity on their cameras. They huddle together for warmth and comfort, their breath visible in the icy air as they recount tales of past investigations. Tension among the team members begins to rise as the night grows darker, and cold, spectral breezes whisper past, seemingly filled with incomprehensible murmurings. As midnight approaches, the atmosphere turns increasingly oppressive, and the investigators start to hear faint, disembodied whispers that weave through the night air. Tension rises as equipment begins to malfunction inexplicably, and cold spots manifest around them, heightening their sense of dread and unwelcome. It's as if the grave itself is responding, unearthing hidden fears within each member. Unable to withstand the looming tension, Sarah, one of the younger team members, wanders off, drawn to a mausoleum, emitting a strangely familiar humming. The air around it is pulsing with a sinister, yet inviting energy, urging her to uncover its mystery. Her footsteps echo inside as she steps through the arched entrance, her curiosity tangled with creeping fear. Sarah finds herself entranced by names and dates etched into the cold stone, remnants of lives that once were. The realization of life and death weaves through her, sparking unsettling thoughts. Suddenly, a cold gust extinguishes her lantern, plunging her into pitch darkness, pierced by only the dim whisper of the ever-present hum. Panic starts to unfurl within her mind, feeding the malevolent energy around. Frantic to escape the suffocating dark, Sarah stumbles back into the graveyard where her teammates wait anxiously. Each one feels a strange force emanating from the ground below, as though the graveyard itself has awakened. Unease brews among them. The legend of the Mackenzie Poltergeist, no longer merely a story, but a living nightmare coming to life before their eyes. Driven by desperate courage, the team decides to perform a sealing ritual, hoping to put an end to whatever restless spirit plagues the graveyard. As they stand around the grave, chanting incantations into the frosty night, a cacophony of otherworldly noises rises from the depths below. The ground trembles, as if desperate to reveal long-buried truths that demand recognition. With the ritual complete, silence reigns again, but not the peace they hoped for. Spirits manifest briefly in anguished forms, eyes hollow with sorrow and mouths agape in silent screams. The phantoms dissolve back into the night, leaving behind a chilling realization that the grave was a focus, not the source, of the unrest. A far more sinister truth hides beyond, subtly altering their reality. As dawn breaks, exhaustion cloaks the investigators, but sleep offers no reprieve. Their dreams entwine with images from the graveyard, disturbed earth, spectral figures, and whispers of long-buried secrets. They wake with a suffocating sensation, aware something dark has latched onto their psyche, niggling at reality's seams. Desperate for answers, the team travels to a forgotten archive in the heart of the misty town. Dusty tomes and forgotten records spill hidden histories of Greyfriars Kirkyard, episodic events of madness, and inexplicable vanishings throughout the centuries. They uncover mentions of a sealed covenant, a binding of souls that, once disturbed, releases torment and chaos. Empowered yet terrified by their newfound knowledge, the investigators return to the graveyard under the guise of another endless night. Veils of mist guard their way as each step toward the grave feels heavier with the burden of fate. They sense the malevolent presence growing stronger. Suffused with the ancient malediction they inadvertently awoke. As the investigators stand on the brink of no return, a spectral form materializes before them. A figure draped in 17th century garb, its face a mask of twisted desolation. The ghost claims they are bound to a curse they dared to uncover, and will remain trapped within this unholy ground, unless it subsides through the ancient pact being honored once more. Despite the cost, cornered by the inescapable truth, the investigators engage in a final, desperate attempt to communicate with the spirits, seeking guidance to rectify the unbroken bond. As spectral apparitions gather around them, the sacred covenants, transcribed in lost tongues, resonate once more across the ancient grounds. Whether they are freed or forever chained within entwining shadows, remains a story locked with Greyfriars Kirkyard's undying heartbeat.